All right, we are live. What's going on, everybody? Hope you're doing good today. All right, let's jump. Excuse me, right into it. Straight to the numbers right off the bat here. In the last six races, since February of 2021, the best average finish is Ryan Blaney with 7.3 in the last six races. With two races apiece, Matt DiBenedetto and AJ Allmendinger are second there. AJ Allmendinger at 9.5, Matt DiBenedetto at 10.0. Kyle Busch is going to be your next, who's had all six races. He is at 12.5, so he is technically second. Brad Keselowski third at 12.7. Chase Elliott at 13.0. Martin Truex Jr. at 13.2. Eric Jones at 14.2. Joey Logano at 14.5. And Ross Chastain is going to be 14.5. And then we'll add two more to get an actual top 10 of people who've had all six. Alex Bowman going to be on there, and so is Denny Hamlin. So that is your best average finish. Of course, average finish means very little if you can't win the race, and your previous race winners there two times has been Fast Willie B. Kurt Busch has one win, not in the race, but that 45 car is, so keep an eye on Tyler Reddick. Joey Logano in there with one win, Chase Elliott with one win, and Ryan Blaney are all your previous winners since 2021. Now let's take a look at your top fives. With three top fives apiece, Kyle Busch and Ryan Blaney. At two apiece, you're going to have Ross Chastain, Alex Bowman, Daniel Suarez. There's a good name if you want to pick somebody for a good top 10 in your BetMGM or whatever you're using. Corey LaJoie also with two top 10s. So that'd be another one I would put in there for the BetMGM or whatever you're using. Kurt Busch, and we're going to get to the BetMGM in just a minute here. Kurt Busch and William Byron, the other ones with two top fives as well. And your top 10s are going to be Ryan Blaney with 5, 4 for Kyle Busch, 3 for Chase Elliott, Martin Truex Jr., Brad Keselowski, William Byron, Daniel Suarez, Alex Bowman. And then you got several with two wins, including Chris Buescher, Justin Haley, and just several more. So a lot of those. So I'm going to skip over those. Now, that doesn't always tell the story, though. So let's go to laps led. Who has led the most laps here? And it's going to be Kyle Larson at 274. But this is a plate race, so keep that in mind. Kyle Larson fans, of course, of which I am one. 174 for Fast Willie B. 163 for Joey Logano. 149 for Kurt Busch. So once again, keep that in mind for Tyler Reddick and Bubba Wallace, both 2311 drivers. 138 laps led for Chase Elliott. 119 for Kyle Busch. And then the next one is at 79, and that is Ross Chastain. So let's go to your power ranking. And according to power rankings, and I think you're going to see this reflected in the BetMGM numbers, according to your power rankings, Ryan Blaney is going to be your favorite. Chase Elliott is going to be second. William Byron is going to be third. And Denny Hamlin is going to be fourth. Of those drivers, I feel like Ryan Blaney and Chase Elliott are good, solid picks here. Never sleep on William Byron. He does have two wins here, but he also has two DNFs in those six races. And I'm kind of feeling Kyle Busch. So I'm going to pick the safe money is going to be Ryan Blaney, but I'm going to pick Kyle Busch as my wild card. So Ryan Blaney going to be my main pick, and Kyle Busch is going to be my wild card. Now let's go to these BetMGM numbers and see what they think. They got Joey Logano as the favorite at plus 700, Kyle Busch at plus 1,000. So my wild card is plus 1,000. He's Vegas' second favorite. My logical pick is the third favorite at plus 1,100 is Ryan Blaney, and plus 1,200 for Chase Elliott. And we'll just run through the rest of the list to see where your driver is at with the BetMGM odds. Plus 1,200 for Chase Elliott, plus 1,200 for Kyle Larson, 1,300 Denny Hamlin, 1,400 William Byron, 1,500 for Seabell, Brad Keselowski, 1,500, 2,000 for Martin Truex Jr., 2,000 for Ross Chastain, 2,200 for Tyler Reddick and Bubba Wallace and Michael McDowell, 2,500 Chris Buescher, 3,000 for plus 3,000 Alex Bowman, plus 3,000 Austin Cindric, plus 3,500 Austin Dillon, plus 4,000 for Eric Jones, who qualified dead last, which is crazy, which we'll run through the starting lineup here in just a minute as well. 4,000 for Suarez, pretty much 4,000 for Gilliland, Briscoe, LaJoie, Gibbs, Suarez, and Eric Jones, plus 5,000 Ricky Stenhouse Jr., 6,000 for Noah Gregson, Josh Berry, Harrison Burton, and Ryan Preece there. And then you got 10,000 for Justin Haley, Carson Osvar, John Hunter Nemechek, And then you get into the big odds, 10,000 plus for all these, plus 100,000. So if you want to throw $1 on BJ McLeod, plus 100,000, he has the longest odds today. Josh Williams at plus 1,500, plus 1,500 for Kaz Grala, and 12,500 plus for Daniel Hemrick. So there we go. Starting lineup is going to be Michael McDowell with your poll, Joey Logano, Kyle Busch, Todd Gilliland, Kyle Larson, Ryan Blaney, Chris Buescher, Austin Cindric, Chase Briscoe, and Austin Dillon rounding out your top 10. So like I said, I'm feeling good about RCR. They seem to have some speed here. That's why I got Kyle Busch as my wild card. I mean, throw Austin Dillon in there as a wild card too, because on even years he likes to make. He's sort of like Joey Logano. He's an even year man. William Byron, Martin Truex Jr., Denny Hamlin, Josh Berry, Noah Gragson round out your top 15, and then the rest of the field is going to be Harrison Burton, Alex Bowman, Bubba Wallace, Tyler Reddick, Ryan Preece, 20th, Ross Chastain, 21st, 22nd, Christopher Bell, 23rd, Daniel Suarez, Brad Keselowski, 24th, Ty Gibbs, 25th, Daniel Hemrick, 26th, 27th for Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Chase Elliott, 28th, so he's got a lot of work to do, Zane Smith, 29th, Josh Williams, 30th, 31st for Justin Haley, 32nd for Corey LaJoie, Kaz Grala, 33rd, and then John Hunter Nemechek, Carson Hocevar, BJ McLeod, and Eric Jones is going to be your last qualifying driver in 37th. So there you go. Let's jump into the chat and see what you guys want to talk about. And before we do that, of course, we do have a poll question up. The BetMGM odds, who are you taking? Joey Logano at plus 700, Kyle Busch plus 1,000, Ryan Blaney at plus 110 or 1,100, and then Chase Elliott 1,200. 25% Chase Elliott, 62% Kyle Busch. They are the two leaders right now. And then Ryan Blaney at 4% and Joey Logano at 8%. Ooh, that cold is still fighting me. It's pretty much gone, but it doesn't like me talking right now for whatever reason. Let's see. In between the lanes, what's going on, my friend? I got KFB in the poll just due to how much emphasis RCR puts on plate track racing. I know plates are gone, but it still sounds more correct than drafting tracks. Yeah, super speedways, I still call them plate tracks too. I'm with you, Charlotte, and I like what you're thinking there. Kyle Busch also qualified on the poll yesterday, says in between the lanes, and got the Truck Series win. So he likes to do sweeps. So that's another factor to put in there. I honestly think if they allow this track to wear for a few more years, it'll eventually race like a larger version of Darlington, in my opinion, from what I've seen. I 100% agree with you. I think if they just be patient with it, it'll eventually be another Darlington. I screwed up not betting yesterday because my two picks won, says Benjamin Lewis. That's always how it goes. If you put money on it, it wouldn't have come out that way. Howdy from the Great White North. What's up, Robin Marks? What's up, Canada? The fix is in for Chase, says Robin. What's up, Robin, says B. It may Bumblebee, but I worry they'll keep putting power to keep it in the pack, or cutting back power to keep it in the pack, says Charlotte. Back-to-back weeks for McDowell and Logano sitting on the front row. Oh, I didn't even think about that. Good point there in between the lanes. Who do you pick as last place today, says Jamie Schweitzer? I'm going to pick John Hunter Nemechek as last place. I feel like he got away with a lot of drafting stuff in Daytona that he probably won't get away with today. So I think either the wall is going to jump up and bite him, or he's going to put that vehicle somewhere. And you saw it actually in the Xfinity race. He's going to put that vehicle somewhere where it doesn't exactly fit. And I don't think, because it's basically going to be a single groove, in my opinion, here today, I don't think anybody's going to cut him any slack. So I actually got John Hunter Nemechek going last. And the fact that the Legacy Motor Club cars apparently don't have any speed for this particular race, that kind of bolsters that as well. BJ McLeod, we saw at Daytona, has a really good race car for the draft. So I'm big on BJ McLeod, so I think he's actually going to be fast here today. I'm happy Kyle Busch won the truck race. Truck race, says in between the lanes. Always going to get loud from McLeod. That's right. Get loud from McLeod. Big money BJ. Let's see. Kyle Busch taking the family to Cheddar's Scratch Kitchen after the race today. I still have never been to a Cheddar's. I need to check one out. Unfortunately, it won't be Kyle Larson that wins, says Escobar. Yeah, he's got bad luck. He did finish the Daytona 500. So we got some positive momentum there. But yeah, typically a plate track or whatever you want to call it, super speedway, not a great track for Kyle Larson. How many cars get taken out before the big one, says Benjamin Lewis? Oh, will there even be a big one, or will it just be another single file deal? Hard to tell. Let's see here. Anybody notice during yesterday's qualifying that the graphics were showing fun facts about each driver? I'm like, that's something they can incorporate. I don't know if anybody remembers VH1 pop-up video, but that would be super cool. They've actually got some throwback NASCAR races that have pop-up stuff on them too. How many cars get taken out from the big one though? So if we have a big one, it'll probably take out a good deal of cars because they'll all be in the same line. A good dark horse pick might be the third generation driver starting outside the second row, Todd Gilliland. That is a good pick. Wished he was racing the Wood Brothers 21 instead of Harrison Burton. He could give them their 100th, says Matt Hunter. Well, I don't think front row is going to let him go. So I feel like he's locked in over there at front row. And they're really building something over there. Like they've built it step by. They've done the opposite of Trackhouse. Trackhouse just came onto the scene, and they've been good since they've come onto the scene. Basically, Trackhouse. Front Row Motorsports. They've incrementally built it up, and now they're going to be a Tier 1 Ford team next season. So good for them, man. Like they had a game plan. They stuck to it. They spent their money wisely, and they have built that thing right on up. So good for them. Good on them. The Xfinity ending was fun to watch, wondering who was going to make it to the end on fuel. Yeah, so fuel strategy is fun to watch. I know the drivers don't like it, but it is cool to watch. And also it saved essentially what was a follow the leader parade, 180-mile parade race. So the ending, at least the ending was exciting in that particular race. RCR is almost undefeated in laps led in Xfinity. They led the most laps yesterday, all but 10 laps. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Feel bad for Jesse Love, man. Like if was it Ryan Sieg or Kyle Sieg? One of the Siegs ran out of gas, and if it wasn't for that, I think he could have got to the white flag, no problem. If this goes to gas mileage, it didn't look good for Ford yesterday. I don't know if the Cup engine gets any better gas mileage than the Xfinity engine, but definitely, which has always been the case. Ford and Dodge motors were always a little bit thirsty. What's up, T-Van? Good to see you on here. I knew Austin Hill could make it on fuel. Listening to his in-car, he saved for the majority of the last run. They planned for a green-white checkered. I don't know what strategies were in front. Yeah, I think I want to say Jesse Love probably saved too. But because he's leading, you've got more wind resistance on your nose. You can't tuck in behind somebody. It's really, really hard for the leader to save fuel. Yeah, he finished the Daytona 500, but was involved in a wreck with minor damage. He just can't get away from wrecks in plate tracks. I can't wait for real racing next week, says Escobar. I mean, that's a fact. Like it's he's always snake bit. What's up, Camaro? And what's Camaro saying what's up to T-Man? Sorry about that. Todd Gilliland eats Georgia peanuts. Facts. No practice racing, says Elaine. Yeah, hopefully NASCAR wakes up one day and gives them at least 1 hour of practice. Any fights today? If so, thoughts on who it may be? There's a chance that Joey Logano and Ty Gibbs might go at it. Who was that? Who was that big cluster? It was like Michael McDowell, Ricky Stenhouse, and I'm going all the way back to the Coliseum here. Michael McDowell, Ricky Stenhouse, and somebody else was in that. Was it John Hunter Nemechek? I don't know, but there was something there. Bubba Kyle Larson, possibly. Like a lot of people, I think those two pretty much were over it after the Coliseum, but the two fan bases don't think they're over it. But so like whatever. So that would be one you could throw in there. And maybe Josh Berry, John Hunter Nemechek. Josh Berry has John Hunter Nemechek ruined by not paying attention. Literally ruined Josh Berry's race. So there's no way Josh Berry's pretty laid back, so I don't see that happening. But there's no way Josh Berry's happy with John Hunter Nemechek today. So off the top of my head, that's like the only ones I can think of. Yeah, but I don't think we'll see one day. Did anyone else expect to see? But I'm often wrong as far as guys getting upset at getting wrecked or whatever. Did anyone else expect to see front row on the front row, says Benjamin Lewis? I feel like they built that thing for a long time, so it does not surprise me at all. Michael McDowell is a good race car driver. I think Todd Gilliland's going to shape up to be a really good race car driver as well. So I'm not super surprised. Even when they had John Hunter Nemechek there, John Hunter Nemechek had a really good rookie season with them, and they've just continued to build since then. Let's see. Jesse Love had a Kyle Busch type day, dominating the race. Yep. He did everything but win, as they say. Ryan Sieg was the one to run out of gas. Ryan Truex uses Toyota genuine parts. That's a fact. That is a fact. Let's see. What up with no one wanting to form an inside lane yesterday? Drivers tried, but no one could go with them or would go with them, says Camaro 50. To me, it looked like only certain guys could race on the inside for a long period of time without losing their car and sliding up into the other car. Jesse Love and Cole Custer being two of them. But I think everybody else's car was either too loose or too tight to run that bottom lane for more than a few laps. And because of that, nobody could get it going. And even at the end of the race, I forget who was backing up. Somebody was trying to back up to Caden Honeycutt, and Caden Honeycutt would not go up and push them, or they were not holding the brake long enough for Caden Honeycutt to go up. I can't remember who it was, but there was going to be somebody that could make a run at the very end on the inside. They would have had the momentum, but them and Caden Honeycutt couldn't figure out the timing of how to set that up. Like it's like Caden Honeycutt never could get up to their bumper and push them, so that was pretty weird. So that just didn't work out. It was a Chevrolet too, I want to say. I can't think of it to save my soul. Let's see. Is it time to bring back the intermediate package to Atlanta? Draft racing doesn't work here. It's only single file lane to race in, says Eric. Yeah, I mean, for sure. I would agree with that. And I think as the asphalt wears out, it's going to be single groove, but it's going to be a different type of single groove. It's going to be more like a Darlington race. Yeah, I'm all for more power, period. So like that's an easy sell for me. Surprised the bigger story wasn't made about the truck only having 33 entries. Xfinity basically having field fillers, 32 basically starting parks, tore up so much stuff. Teams couldn't show up this week, says Cody. Yeah, I mean, that's you're always going to run that risk, especially when you run basically back-to-back truck plate races for the trucks. If you remember back in the day, trucks would run the Daytona race. Then they had basically like a month off before their next race. And there was a reason for that, so that they could put their trucks back together, because back then a lot of truck teams only had one or two trucks. Bad Brad and Joey Logano were in the Xfinity broadcast booth yesterday. That is a fact, and they both did a really good job. Kyle Busch gets a penalty on pit road again today. Between his crew and him, it's too frequent, says Jamie Schweitzer. That, and we'll probably get a Denny Hamlin speeding penalty at some point this race as well. Kelly Jones, what's going on? Hello, BB. I hope they run the whole race today. Last week, the caution came out before they crossed the line, the start-finish line, according to the still photo that I saw that NASCAR posted on the report I read. So, yeah, that's going to continue to be a controversy. Like I said, whenever it ends under caution, it's always going to be debated till the end of time, unless your guy won. BB, are you a fan of NASCAR doubleheaders? Yeah, I think you should get as much racing as you can get for the ticket you purchased. When running on the bottom, it was too free because the apron kept the drivers from getting a headlight down, enough air to tighten up. I forgot to thumbs up, like the stream, or you'll have bad luck all day. I don't know about having bad luck all day, but if you want to give the old thumbs up, it would be much appreciated. Hello, everybody, says Lovey Barkley. What's up, Lovey? Good to see you as well. I think Raja Caruth was running in front of Honeycutt. It might be. I can't remember who it was, but whoever it was, they couldn't figure out how to get going. So yeah, and then the Bailey Curry and I think Lane Riggs had it going on too in the 38 because he got disqualified for it, where the window depresses and it ended up ejecting Bailey Curry's roof. So that luckily it didn't go into the stands. That becomes a safety issue. So hopefully NASCAR makes an emphasis that basically you just need to sit some guys out for a race if they're going to keep playing with that window, because you saw yesterday what the effects of that are. When the roof came flying off, that easily could have gone into the stands and injured a fan. I was sitting at Daytona one year when Robbie Gordon's hood, before they had the tethers or whatever, Robbie Gordon's hood on the Singular Wireless came out into the stands at Daytona. I think Greg Biffle won that race and came into the stands and it ended up hitting a fan. She ended up being okay, but she did have to be taken and evaluated. Good morning, BB. Byron goes back-to-back today. Corey will grab another top 5. Gilliland and John Hunter Nemechek for a top 10. My takes for today. The sleepers are going to be the 51, the 99. The 99 is definitely going to be a good sleeper. I like your pick there. Austin Dillon, Eric Jones, and Ty Gibbs. I like that Ty Gibbs and Eric Jones sleeper picks there. I do agree with you 100% there. And like I said, always Austin Dillon, you got to throw him in the mix because it's an even year. So I'm not going to be surprised when Austin Dillon makes the playoffs this year. And I didn't say if, I said when. Glock, what's up, my friend? You lose 2 laps when you pit, says Willow. That's a fact. Bailey Curry drives a Silverado convertible. So made a mini truck convertible reference, which used to be the bane of the automotive community. A lot of people hate mini truck convertibles. And I'm so old that a lot of people didn't get that reference. So, but at least one other person thought about it. The guy that makes all the T-shirts and stuff, Harris Liu, a fellow Oxford native, he had the same thought process because he posted a mini truck as well in reference to the Bailey Curry deal. Let's see. I want to see Josh Williams park it again, and will power the tower, says Cody Ledger. I like the iceberg. I'm all on board for McDowell supremacy. Staying in the Ford camp, Kez should look at Kaz Grala for a eventual third full-time ride at RFK, maybe in the 29th. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm big on Kaz Grala. I think that's a great idea. Kyle Bush wins today, says next gen. I'm with you, man. He's my wild card pick. Like I said, I got Blaney by the numbers, but I've got Kyle Bush as my wild card pick. Let's see. The roof could be a scary situation, says Intake. Yeah, I agree 100%, man. Because that's even worse than a hood in some aspects because it got ripped off. So you're going to have jagged edges, whereas the hood, it's just really heavy, and you're going to have some sharp edges. But the roof, chances it's going to do really bad damage. Of course, the hood's going to do really bad damage too. So I don't know. Maybe it's tit for tat. Team Penske finishes 1, 2, and 3 today, says Jamie Schweitzer. So there you go. They're going to work on it. They're just going to line up and ride with each other. What if it's 1, 2, 3, 4? What if they get the 21 involved in that too? I'm working on becoming a regular on these live streams, says Lovey. I feel like you already are a regular. I feel like I see you all the time. So you're doing a good job, my friend, and I appreciate your support. Matt Crafton was on race day yesterday, pretty much called out the young drivers, asked veterans for advice. Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with that. There's a multitude of reasons why there's so many wrecks. One is the young drivers are taught to drive a different way than the old timers were taught to drive. Another one is just the playoffs itself. They're going to create. Back in the day, consistency was rewarded. Now consistency is not rewarded. So since consistency is not rewarded, that second place really means absolutely nothing because you can finish second and still not make the playoffs. But if you wreck the guy in front of you, or if you throw an overly aggressive move and take out the guy in front of you accidentally, you're going into the playoffs and he's not. So like that's another aspect of it. I don't know. There's a lot of aspects as to why people wreck more now. But it's just I feel like those are the two biggest. It's a culture thing, and the playoffs just amp it up even more. So those are probably the two biggest. But there's definitely also other issues at play there. Let's see. Taylor Gray uses JBL products when he listens to music. He does use JBL, and I forget who Ben Rhodes' sponsor is, but they need to make a diecast of that all orange Ben Rhodes truck because that's a good looking truck. Big reason Mike Helton is not as involved. He'd sit you down, he'd tell you to fix it, or you'll be out of the sport. Yeah, 100%. So that's the other thing. NASCAR is not regulating it. Back in the day, NASCAR regulated it, and then they went to the boys have at it for basically the purposes of drama. And so they're not enforcing essentially their own rules on rough driving. And a lot of this could be taken care of just a simple short track rule. Like in short track racing, if you're involved in the accident, you go to the back of the pack. So it encourages more clean racing. Not that a lot of chicanery doesn't go on in short track racing, but I'm just saying if you're involved, if you wreck the leader and you're part of that wreck, you're going to the back of the pack. So I think that would probably be a good rule for the Cup Series. Another good rule for the lower series would be the 3-spin rule. If you spin by yourself 3 times, or if you just spin 3 times, period, and that's it. That's the end of your day. You're a liability out there. The other thing they could also enforce more strictly is minimum speed. I feel like they're way too lenient on minimum speed. So that's another one. Big reason is Mike. You just read that one. Campers in RV. Says in between the lanes. Oh yeah. So Ben Rhodes, campers in RV. Yeah, that bright orange. That was a good looking truck last night. Hopefully they make a diecast of that. What race will bring the first win for Stewart Haas Racing this year? Quite possibly Martinsville with Josh Berry would be my guess, or Noah Gregson. 90% of the time, Noah Gregson could get it done today. He's another possible wild card. 90% of the time, I don't even the crashes are in. Don't even think the crashes are intentional, but the drivers are forced to drive a certain way because of the way the sport is set up. As far as proving you're a good driver, yeah, and that's probably the other point I wanted to make. Now that they, at least in the Cup Series, now that they have, the Cup Series doesn't really wreck that much, so I'm just going to leave that one alone. But I don't know. Ty Majeski is a fan of Tim Duggar. He is. Ty Majeski, a massive Tim Duggar fan. SHR cars may be penalized this week. Yep, we're going to have to wait and see what happens there. They took the roof rail off the SHR cars. Kyle Busch is suing Rev Racing because they haven't paid him, but hopefully they work that out. Rev Racing is a branch of NASCAR, by the way. So NASCAR didn't pay Kyle Busch the money for putting the developmental drivers in his car, or in his trucks, I should say. My pick to win last week is starting last today. Eric Jones, says Matt Hunter. And look, he might have a really good drafting car, but they did not have good qualifying speed. And we saw Eric Jones had plenty of speed at Daytona. So if the drafting package is anything similar, Eric Jones should be okay today. Eric Jones had a wild qualifying lap. See, I didn't see that, but I did see he was last, and he was like 2 seconds off. So that's interesting. But I saw John Hunter Nemechek was back there too. According to Jimmy Johnson, the cars were way, way, way loose. So hopefully under today's conditions, they'll be tightened up quite a bit. So we'll have to see how that all plays out. Once again, that goes back, of course, to having no practice. What we call the 3-spin rule, the Cody Ware or the Robbie Gordon rule. I mean, insert whatever driver in there who you think is reckless. It could be quite literally anybody. It could be the Jack Sprague rule. I remember when Jack Sprague, great truck champion, not taking anything away from him. But when he came into the Cup Series, he was so aggressive. He was always backing that number 24 net zero car into the wall. Or not, what was it? The number 0. Yeah, the net 0. Sorry, he was what? Yeah, he was 24 in the Truck Series. So I got that mixed up. He was always backing that number 0 net zero car into the wall. So he was another one you could throw out there, it was so crazy for me to see that a Truck Series champion that just couldn't get his head around what to do in the Cup car because he was being too aggressive. Noah Gregson is a better fit with SHR than Legacy, says Willow. Yeah, I would agree with that. Legacy, at least the public persona, is more buttoned up, whereas SHR, they just kind of let it rip over there. So that's definitely a better fit for Noah. He likes to do pranks and all kinds of other stuff. Obviously, sometimes to his detriment. One of the biggest problems with the Truck Series is the lack of an enforcer figure to teach kids how to race. I mean, I think they've got enforcers there. I just think the issue is they don't have as many as they used to. The Truck Series used to be like your veteran retirement series, for lack of a better term. Like you had half the field were veterans. Now you've got 1 or 2 veterans who will yank your chain if you get out of line, but they don't have half the field as veterans anymore. And that's what made the Truck Series special back in the day. And you just don't have that anymore. Team owners are not happy with revenue sharing negotiations. NASCAR didn't join the meeting they arranged. Yeah, NASCAR returned the favor. The team owners didn't go to a NASCAR meeting, and NASCAR returned the favor. So hopefully they get that ironed out. It's going to get interesting going forward, but there's no reason they shouldn't get it hammered out. Looked like both broadcasts were at the track yesterday, says in between, which is a good thing. What do you think about Jimmy Johnson getting taken out early in his races? Bad juju, you think? It's a couple things. Some of it is where he's qualifying, and some of it is he's rusty. And when you qualify back there and you're rusty, typically you're going to be around more crashes and stuff like that. It's pretty much the same problem that Hailie Deegan has had the vast majority of her career. She's bad at restarts and she's bad at qualifying, and that combination of things, when there's a restart, which there's plenty of in the lower series, and when you qualify poorly, you're always going to be in the middle of the squirrels. And when the squirrels get to darting and dodging, you're going to get caught up in those wrecks. So that and pretty much any talented driver that you're like, man, they always get caught up in wrecks. Look at where they qualify and look at how they restart. If they don't qualify well and if they don't restart well, they're typically going to be stuck back there with those wrecks. So that's one of those deals. If Jimmy Johnson figures out his qualifying deal, he'll be in much better shape, and you probably won't see him in as many wrecks going forward. So yeah, that's that. And looks like we're close to the end. So we'll hang out here for a couple more minutes, see if you guys want to talk about anything else. If not, I'll hop off here and we'll head to the race. Or to the TV, I should say, to watch the race. Is Kyle Busch? This little button always gets in the way. Is Kyle Busch doing Xfinity? He might get like some colleague starts. So he might do some races for colleague, maybe some one-offs. But other than that, I don't know. Juan Camillo says, enjoy ATL for the win. There you go. So, yeah, I think hopefully it'll be a good race. Hopefully it won't be a follow the leader deal. But if it is, maybe we'll get another interesting engine. Do we know Kyle Busch's truck schedule? Well, this seems like it was a last-minute deal. So he's got 4 more. He's got 4 more opportunities to start, and they're all going to be with Spire, so I guess I would assume. So it's going to let Spire know where they're at, which Spire is apparently in a pretty good – they won yesterday. This racing in Atlanta is too much a single-file train show with this track now. Yeah, so maybe they'll loosen up the restrictions on the intake, and maybe we'll get some real racing. I think as the track ages, it'll be more like a Darlington. So it won't be quite as bad, but yeah, single file racing not going to be super beloved by fans, except at Darlington, where the tires wear out and you can actually pass in that single file when you slingshot and stuff like that. That's the cool thing about Darlington. It's like the only track left where you can still slingshot somebody. Man, I think Kyle B has a really good shot today. Go Rowdy. I'm with you, Ghetto Streamlabs. He is my wild card pick. Blaney is the pick if you're going by numbers. SHR has the best up-and-coming young drivers with no wins, says Benjamin Lewis. Yeah, I like the collection of talent SHR has. I'm big on them. I think they're going to have a strong season regardless of whatever penalty they're about to get hit with. Did you see Rondy Sandstorm take the Garage 56 for some hot laps around VIR? His on-board is nuts for us motorheads, says Leon Automotive. Yeah, and I'm super disappointed I didn't know that was going on because I live maybe 30 minutes from VIR. I would have gone and checked that out. I want to see that car really bad. To me, the truck race seemed better than the Busch race. Maybe it's just me, though. To me, the truck race was way better, in my opinion. I'm a huge Barry fan, and I have a lot of respect for Noah, says Benjamin Lewis. Yeah, and Ryan Preece, super good driver, and Chase Briscoe showed what he can do. So I think they got good talent over there. Check out Baloney Burger Discord. We had a lot of fun posting yesterday during the race of System Era 50. That's a fact. And we got a poll question tonight. So that's where the poll question tonight actually came from the Discord. So that's unless something happens in the race that I've got to do a poll question about, I should qualify that. Other than that, though, the poll question for tonight, tonight's live stream post race is going to be from the Discord. Any owner championship? We've already made it from the Discord. Any owner championship predictions yet? I'm still sticking with Toyota, Jamie Schweitzer. I think Toyota gets the owner championship this year. Chase Elliott has a nice Hooter scheme today. Yep, Hooters is from Atlanta, so I knew it was either going to be Hooters or Coca-Cola. I guess Hooters paid more money to be on the Atlanta car. The second Atlanta race, I would expect probably, though, Coca-Cola. Maybe they do it at it's going to be interesting where Coca-Cola does their race with them. I don't know. Jeffrey Earnhardt ran a solid 8th place. That's a fact. Good pointing that out. Mark 63. Shane Van Gisbergen got 3rd place, and Parker Retzlaff 5th place. So good on all of them. Ryan Blaney drinks Body Armor Zero Sugar. That's a fact. He also drinks the Body Armor water. Well said. Darlington is the only track that lights my fire anymore, says Tiger. They used to throw 30-lap caution when there was no qualifying or practice. No more, says Willow. Yeah. Good morning from the Kingdom of Indiana. Do we think the next gen will be able to keep up on the bottom lane? it remains to be seen. We're going to find out. We had no practice, and somebody's going to go down there and try it, and that's probably going to be one wreck, or at least a tense moment. So we'll see. Time to eat, y'all. Got chili and garlic Texas toast. That sounds good, B. Hooters, man. Rest in peace, Alan Kowicki. That's a fact. It was cool that Chase Elliott ran the throwback to Alan Kowicki the other year. I think Kyle Busch is an advisor for Spire Motorsports. Yeah. So he sold them the team, and he's gonna advise them to make sure they stay at the level that KBM was at least for a season or two. So good on him, and I think Spire is going to be good either way. But all right, I'm gonna go check out the race. Y'all have a good one. Did y'all see that Chase Briscoe donated 700 bicycles to every elementary school in his hometown for Christmas? Says Benjamin Lewis. I did not see that, but that is really cool. So good on him. All right, catch y'all on the next one. Peace.